What's up, everybody? The TNA boys are back, and today we are going to make some chicken alfredo.
What we're gonna do to it makes it the world's greatest. This is what we're gonna use. Chicken tenderloins, we're gonna chop them up, fettuccine, heavy cream.
We're also going to grate our own Parmesan, at least a cup. Gonna dice up just a little bit of onions and dice them real small so they dissolve in the sauce. We're going to chop up some mushrooms, chop up some garlic. We're going to use some butter, and I'm going to use frozen broccoli because I don't feel like steaming fresh ones. It takes too long.
My dad's gonna chop these up into bite-sized pieces, make sure they're all the same size so they all don't cook differently. We warmed up some oil, now we're gonna put our chicken.
We're going to season it with some salt, some pepper, and this Montreal chicken. When it's done, we are going to remove it and then go on to the next step.
We're gonna check our chicken. It's looking good, now we're gonna remove it. Then we're gonna set it aside and cover it with a napkin and start with our sauce.
As I turn my back, I catch Aiden sneaking a piece of chicken. At least tell me, how is it?
It's good.
First, we're gonna smash open our garlic. I'm gonna dice that up after we get it peeled. We're gonna dice up some onions, put some butter in the same pan with the garlic and onions and saute them for a bit.
You're gonna chop this as finely as you can so we don't have big chunks in our sauce. And we're gonna do the same with the onions. I think that's good, Dad. We're gonna take them to the pan.
In the same pan that we did our chicken, we're gonna add a little bit of oil. We're gonna melt some butter, and then we're gonna saute our garlic and onions.
Why we're doing it in the same pan? Because we want the delicious flavors from the chicken.
Aiden's chopping up some mushrooms for us that we're gonna add in there. In goes our garlic and onions. Saute that for about a minute. Then we're gonna throw in our mushrooms and then start with the heavy cream. Now the mushrooms, give those a quick little toss, and then we'll be back with the heavy cream. Now we're gonna pour in some heavy cream. We're gonna do about a cup at least at first. You're gonna bring this to a very light simmer because it's gonna start to thicken. I'm gonna add the broccoli and then some Parmesan cheese, and then we're gonna see if we need more heavy cream for the amount of sauce we want. Starting to simmer, we're gonna add in our other half stick of butter and some more heavy cream. Stir this up, and next comes the broccoli and the Parmesan cheese. Now in goes our broccoli. Aiden's gonna stay stirring. Now I'm gonna add our Parmesan cheese. While Aiden's still stirring, we're gonna start putting in the freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I suggest you do this yourself. It's better. Keep stirring, and then we're gonna reduce it to low when it comes to a simmer, and then adjust if we need more heavy cream or what we gotta do depending on how thick it is. Pause. It's the consistency we like. We're gonna season lightly, a little bit of salt because the Parmesan cheese is salty. A good amount of pepper. And lightly some garlic powder. Stir this up. Then we're gonna reduce this heat to low, cover it, and then add our chicken right before we're done for about another 5-10 minutes after that. Now for our noodles, our water's almost to come to a boil. Gotta salt your water that you cook pasta in. That's a must. If you don't even bother making noodles because then it's a waste. Okay, one final little stir. That's the consistency you want, the way it drips off the back. Now it's time to taste it, see if we need any more spices.
It's amazing.
Our water's boiling, in goes our fettuccine. I'm gonna cook this down. Now we're gonna add back our chicken. Combine it and then cover on low until our noodles are ready. This will start to soften right away and you'll be able to push down the noodles into the water. Just do it carefully so you don't break them.
When our noodles are almost done, we're going to take some pasta water and put it in our sauce, and then drain our noodles and then put them in our sauce. The reason I said almost is because we're going to add them into our sauce and cook them and cover them for 5 minutes.
Just stir and incorporate everything. Make sure all these noodles, everything gets coated with your sauce. Like Aiden said, we're going to cover for 5 minutes, then turn it off, let it sit for maybe another 5, and then we're ready to serve. This is what we ended up with, but first, Aiden's gonna sprinkle the top with some fresh parsley, give it a little bit of color. And there you have it, world's greatest chicken alfredo.
And of course, we put a to-go plate for Uncle Rob.
And if you don't want to put the chicken in the sauce, you can always just add it on top at the end.
See you next time.